Hello everyone, my name is Gustavo Coutinho and I'm 18 years old from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Imagine now, you just started high school. You're anxious to make friends, you're anxious to experience new things, you're anxious to learn. But then, high school starts. Slowly, disrupts each one of your dreams and passions. You're learning German? Cool, but what about ENEM? ENEM is the Brazilian standard college entrance exam. It's the only factor taken into consideration to the admission to Brazilian universities. It does not matter if you're an activist for the rights of minorities, an outstanding musician, or someone that makes an important impact in our community. All that counts for you to enter university is a single test. Our entire high school education narrows to one weekend, on which we take 10 hours combined of exams, answering hundreds and hundreds of questions. Does it measure one's intelligence? No. Does it represent one's academic, social, and emotional commitment over the entire high school? We know. Yet, millions of Brazilian high school students do this test every year. Imagine now you still want to play the piano, or you want to found a non-profit organization, or you still want to go to university. After all, everyone tells you you need a diploma. Your parents may even sacrifice their jobs for you to be able to go to university. And then you find yourself in a dilemma. Will you still play the piano 6 hours a week? Will you still spend weeks and weeks planning social action in your community? Or will you spend 10 hours in front of a textbook memorizing formulas? Unfortunately, for the great majority of Brazilian high school students, the option is the last one. In fact, there are harsh consequences to it. Brazil is ranked in the lowest position on the PISA, the Program for International Student Assessment. And recently, the Brazilian Basic Index of Development has just been released, and only 2 out of the 27 units of the Federation achieved the proposed goals for high school education. And then, like in every other country, you start high school in Brazil full of dreams, full of curiosity, full of passion. I myself loved German, but I quit. A friend of mine was a problem in gymnastics, but she quit. Another friend of mine loved dancing, also quit. This is our reality. We have no stimuli to do anything outside of class. Rather, we have the stimuli to spend our entire days reading textbooks, memorizing countable formulas, and simply reproducing arguments. Would you call it education? Well, I don't. And in this context is where my project comes in. In a country where not only education itself struggles, but also its students. The project started with a national survey on which students across Brazil would point out the problems and the flaws within their educational curriculum. With this data in hand, we knew what had to be changed. We knew what had to be improved. And while I was researching educational policies across the world, I stumbled upon how it governs multiple intelligence theory. In essence, it says that the spectrum of intelligence of a person is composed of several intelligences. Therefore, a good education is the one that develops multiple intelligences. But back in Brazil, our educational curriculum doesn't do that. Our educational curriculum is focused on two intelligences only. We put a strong emphasis on logical mathematical thinking and verbal linguistics, and the students don't have the opportunity to fully develop other intelligences. And now, you would think that as we put so much emphasis on math and on Portuguese, we would have very high ranking scores on Portuguese and on the reading and on the math component of the PISA. But as you may see, Brazil is ranked in the 62 out of 65 countries. To solve this, I developed a partnership with the I developed a supplementary curriculum to the traditional one. In partnership with the NGO Brasil Forte, we have implemented a pilot project in Floresta da Tijuca, the Tijuca Rainforest, which is the world's largest urban forest. Through workshops, activities, and classes, we foster not only knowledge, but we foster knowledge in a more vibrant and vivid manner. We give the students a feeling they have forgotten for quite a long time, the pleasure to learn. This way, my project acts on the weaknesses of the Brazilian educational curriculum in order to build a more holistic education. However, you need more than a good curriculum in order to build a good education. One thing that I have learned from my own experience is that the community that surrounds you deeply affects your performance in and out of class. A student needs opportunities and resources in order to thrive. The lack of these two essential factors may prevent a student from achieving their full potential. In this intersection between community and education, Java Project also acts. We empower underprivileged communities through education. In the communities, elders, teenagers, and adults have the opportunity to have classes from computer science to cooking to handcrafted. In a co-op supported by Rio Federal Center for Technological Education, the community have the opportunity to enter on the workforce. So I came to the conclusion, you don't change the education of a community without changing the community. My project is innovative because it addresses a long-standing challenge of my country, and it's also dynamic because we can adapt the curriculum to the certain needs of the villages. In a country as big as Brazil, we cannot have only one formula for education. Our educational curriculum needs to adapt to the singularities and the differences of each region. It is necessary to understand how complex and different and diverse Brazil is. Changing an entire educational system is not easy, but only with entrepreneurial solutions one can do it. Thank you very much.